And welcome back to the Arizona Cardinals 20-year rebuild. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's action, and don't forget to subscribe. Welcome back to the channel, everyone, as we're entering into year 18. We're doing another off season, doing another season, and hopefully we can get back to our dominance. We had a season where we went 8-9 with a team that very much lacked defensively and virtually no running game. Our passing game was fine and our points per game was fine. And that's the thing. To start off this episode is simply, to put it simply for you guys, is with Will Brittley at quarterback, we will always have a chance to win football games. But I think in last episode, I think throughout this franchise, I have not been aggressive enough. And I think today we need to be aggressive. As you guys can see, you know, McDonald here, who we drafted in the later rounds, came out to be a superstar with 99 speed. You know, we drafted JJ Jackson, another young, talented receiver, already at it, playing like an 81 overall with morale. But this team needs something. And going into this up and coming off season, we have 3 first-round picks, all in the top 16. We have a good amount of money. We have a roster that, on paper, in my opinion, is very good. So where do we need to upgrade? Where do we need to find new talent? And, you know, a lot of it might be me, you know, taking a player like Mitch Ford, for an example, and saying, you know what, he's 29 years old, 87, we know he's a solid receiver, but maybe we can trade him and a pick to get even a better receiver for the next couple seasons. Ford is, you know, been a 1,000-yard receiver. He has scored 10 times plus twice in his career. We drafted him with the 4th overall pick, never been a Pro Bowler, and he's expected to make $35 million, and he doesn't want to be here either. He could be a trade candidate today. You know, another player is Darren Laws here, a 25-year-old running back. He's a top 10 back, but he doesn't play like one. And I think the guy behind him in Meredith has proven that he can at least put up some sort of points. You know, these couple seasons here, I thought, okay, he could become a solid starter for us, but, you know, he just hasn't broken out just yet, and I don't know when he would. Developing running backs is very difficult in this franchise. Defensively, I said it at the end of the video, we need an alpha on this defensive line. I think with Colbert, Wilkins, and Brian here, we have our 3 young, you know, up-and-coming starters that can make plays here and there, but I think adding someone to this group for the remaining of this rebuild is pivotal, in my opinion. I think adding a linebacker, because I don't know if Mark Hunt here will, if we'll keep him or not. You know, he's a solid linebacker, but we could look to upgrade over him. But at the end of the day, guys, I need to be aggressive, and hopefully in this up-and-coming offseason, we'll be able to do so. Just want to look around stat-wise. You know, 10 years already for Will Brittley, and 4,200,000 passing yards, 356 touchdowns, and only 78 interceptions in 10 seasons. 69 completion percentage throughout his career. That's nice to see. He also leads us in rushing yards, career rise. So, you know, this is what I mean. You know, Laws here has 2,314 scores, but he just has not really proven. And Meredith here, in less games played, has scored more, and he hasn't been more efficient, but he just, I don't know, less expensive, I guess. Bruce Proctor, he's a veteran that we brought in, but Mitch Ford currently would be our the player that we know that leads us in receiving yards, but he could be moved today. Bobby Summers, entering into year 10. He's posted up a solid career so far. Cameron Hayden here, who needs a new contract. I don't want him to leave the building. So far, it's a very nice career for him as well. Yeah, so far those are the career stats. Sack-wise, Cameron Wall has allowed the most. Jace Green second, and then Daniel Huff. Green played a season at tackle for us, did not play well. I think a guy like Chase Green will probably let him go. I moved him back to guard, see if he will get an opportunity somewhere else. He is still a starter in my opinion, at least. Defensively, Delvin Lawrence, who's been on our team for a while, but moved off of and then came back for a season. He's had a fantastic career. But Dakulis Mims became our new Mike linebacker, captain of the defense. 11 interceptions, 13 sacks, 52 TFLs. That's a nice career. Fitzpatrick has 19 interceptions. You know, this is one thing, guys. We don't have this top edge rusher or sack master on our team. You know, Colbert here, he can provide it, but he needs to continue to improve. And Brian here, 14 and a half sacks in 5 seasons. I mean, we know what we need to add. Fitzpatrick here with 19 interceptions, and then a couple other guys with some turnovers as well. Looking at around the league, we'll start off. Well, we see Jermaine Weston. He is currently the league leader in interceptions. I believe he's expected to be a free agent. I would love to bring him back just for that comfort of knowing that we have a top safety on our team, but don't know just yet. So far, Chris Hughes is the league leader in sacks. Then we have a couple other defensive players all getting a good amount of sacks here, about 5 or 6 guys. In terms of receiving, Bruce leaves all active players in receiving yards and in catches, tied with Sean Holiday here. And in touchdowns, Brian Cooper from the Saints has 108 right now. Miles White with almost 100 himself. No one here, at least at the top. Thad Phillips here, who's been a Viking throughout a lot of his career. We drafted him. Didn't really give him an opportunity. He went to Minnesota and exploded for the 5 years stretch, and heck, you could even say 6. Made a Pro Bowl in that time. Yeah, I don't know. We see Michael Wilson is still out here and entering into he's 42 years old. He's still out there playing. There's a few players like this. I don't know why they won't retire. Who knows? I'm not gonna adjust anything like that. But I'll see if there's another player that I can recognize for you guys that was at least on our team. So far, no one up here. I know the Jets have a receiver here. Jacoby Holmes here. We traded him away to the Jets. We drafted him with a 9th overall pick. Never really produced for us, and had an okay career. He was always a solid number 2 receiver. But I messed up on that pick big time. In terms of rushing leaders, Greg McGill here. He is the current league leader in rushing yards. And then I have a couple other guys here. I don't think we'll recognize anyone just because I really haven't drafted too many running backs. Well, I have, but a lot of them really never panned out. And then in terms of quarterback, Lawrence House, who was the Giants quarterback for a while, current league leader in passing yards. Pat Schultz here. He is one of the better quarterbacks that has come through this franchise. Will Britley slowly making his way up here. I think after another couple seasons, he'll be at the top. So I don't know who leads the league in touchdown passes. House does, then Mark Neal here. Interceptions wise, Mark. Yeah. So how do we get over the top? How do we get this team back to relevance? I did make some cuts, so we do have $68 million to work with, and here are our free agents. Cameron Hayden, Michael Durst's 5th-year option. I'm absolutely picking this up. We need him. And then on the back end here, we have quality depth and some starters here. So a player like DeAndre Kennedy, I might consider bringing him back, but that will be a later decision. Same thing here with Bruce. Justin here, House, Chase, all of these guys we're going to be letting go. Jalen Mills and Lance Brown here, 2 backup edge rushers. I mean, between the 2 of them, they won $10 million combined for a season. I am interested, but I don't know just yet. For the corner here, we're not going to bring him back. For Mark and Roundtree, again, these are 2 solid defensive rotational players. I don't know yet. The big one here is Cameron Hayden, and I just don't see a way for us to get back to being a top team without him. You know, he's been on a 4-year stretch of very good receiving play, and in his first 3 years, he was still a solid receiver. So I don't want him to leave the house, to leave us. And this is already a very expensive contract. This would bring us down to about $35 million. I would be willing to offer this to him. So let's see. And he does sign. So we got Cameron Hayden. We have our #1 receiver under contract. And everyone else I'm going to be letting test. I know that, you know, we're basically letting 2 starters walk, but I do think we have a corner that could replace him. I think we could find another linebacker if necessary. And I think we could find defensive line depth. We have, you know, 3 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks. We have draft capital. So as much as those 2 players are important starters, I think letting them go makes a lot of sense for us. And keeping the #1 receiver in Hayden, I think, was very important for us. So with all of that change here, I am going to be making, I'm going to do some restructuring in terms of contracts, but this is the current state of the team. You know, I think, again, you could roll this offense out there again and say we will be okay. Even with a 76 overall in Morgan at tackle, I think we're solid. We have 3 young interior offensive linemen that we're developing. We have some younger running backs as well. Defensively, linebackers, yes, a need. Trying to find that alpha defensive lineman. You know, we have Jeff Walton here, who I think could step in and be our 3rd corner if necessary. So I think if we can't get all of the players that I want to, we will be okay. The current state of free agency, we see Nick O'Neal here, top-rated player. Then you have a kicker, Jeremy Collins here, who has interest in coming here. I mean, here could be that alpha defensive lineman that I'm referring to. 2nd best right end in the league. He's played in Cincinnati. He's posted up 10+ sacks in the last now 5 seasons. Could be a fun addition to the team. We do have the money to make that type of move. We could go after someone else. Chase Green is still out there. But yeah, and the game is still forcing me to only be able to make 2 moves at this current moment in time. How much for Jeremy Collins? So he would want about $27 million, which would be all of our cap at this moment in time. So I don't know if I want to go in that direction or not, but I am going to make some restructures, and then there are a few players' names that I did write down that I might attempt to trade. So let's see what I can do. So after restructures, I have now just about $50 million. I restructured Daniel Huff, Cameron Hall, DeCoulis Mims. Those were the 3 guys that I decided to restructure, giving us about $15 million, pushing some money down the line for those 3 superstars on our team, which I think will allow us to make a couple big time moves for this team. And a deal has been made. We are sending the 11th overall pick and the 43rd to the New England Patriots with Jonathan Horn, a low-end wide receiver, to the New England Patriots for Darren Smith. Now, Smith here is the best defensive tackle in the franchise, and one of the best players also in the franchise in his own right. Great player, alpha defensive lineman, 29 years old. It might have been a lot to go get him, but throughout his career, he's been a 7.5+ guy every single season. And I think Smith, for 2 years, $17 million, that is not bad at all. I think that adds a lot of value to our defensive line. And, yes, we've drafted Lawrence, we drafted Harris, 2 players with top picks, but with Smith, Brian here, throw in Josh and Colbert, I think you have a defensive line that is scary. And I think that's exactly what we needed to accomplish, to really help improve this team. I know giving up the 11th overall pick is a lot, but we still have the 3rd, and we still have 16, and we still have a 2nd. So we still have draft capital to continue to add young players. And I don't think I'm done just yet in terms of making trades, but I think we have very much added that star piece on our defensive line. And I'm going to be making another trade here, sending Mitch Ford to the Denver Broncos, and we're going to be trading for Matt Sleeve here, a corner. Both 87 overalls, but we're going to get a player who is 2 years younger than Mitch Ford, and a guy that is way less expensive. Matt here is ranked 13th at the corner position. He comes in here and immediately becomes our number 2 guy. And he's picked up multiple turnovers throughout his career, and very cheap with all of because we had to either extend Mitch Ford or move off of him now. In my opinion, we just solidified our secondary for another season. This team was very good when we had 3 very good corners and a good defensive line, solid linebackers, and we've just allocated a lot to our defense. Yes, we've moved off of 2 wide receivers, but I think J.J. Jackson, Deshaun Bryant, and Marcus McDonald, they can all play. I think you throw in Hayden here. We have our number 1 receiver. I think we still have a good ground game, or on paper we have a good ground game, and it's not something I'm looking to adjust right now. I think with the remaining money that we have, we're going to look to improve here in free agency, and somehow, some way, we have $52 million. So we still have capital to go after a guy like a Jeremy Collins, to, maybe there is a running back that I like. Not really, but there is still, Paul Wilkerson out there if we wanted to bring him in for a season to being a number 2 guy. So there is room for us. I think that we made 2 aggressive moves to improve this defense, and I think that's very important for our success long term. And I'm going to be making 2 offers here. Brian Robinson, who is an outside linebacker who plays more in pass coverage, excellent in pass coverage actually, and we are going to be targeting Paul Wilkerson here. Two players that can come in here, make an impact for a season or 2, and be solid starters. So we did not get Robinson. He goes to the Houston Texans. We see Collins joins him in Houston. We also see Weston going to the Vikings. So did I mess up again? Paul Wilkerson, I really would like to have him. And he signed somewhere else. He's going to go to Seattle, our divisional rivals. He wanted a 3-year deal. I couldn't give him that. just because I knew he was going to regress. And that leaves us with about 50 some odd $million. So I'm going to sim ahead. Maybe we make some depth moves. Maybe that's what I change my focus to. We still have 2 firsts. We still have a second. I don't think that I'm going to make any other trades, but you know, I do think that we've improved this team regardless. So all these moves here are for depth. Dion Matthews, he's a mentor at right tackle. Kevin Slater, he's a mentor at left tackle. Mick Rush, who was on our team for a handful of seasons. Cole Beckham, trying to reunite him. He's still out there, 36 years old. Hannah here, another player that we drafted. Same thing here with Alan Williams and Kennedy. So most of these guys here I expect for us to bring in. And it looks like we got them all. So adding depth across this team is important. And we're getting some familiar faces back as well. And some of them are mentors, which is nice to see. And here's the free agency recap here. Nick O'Neal here, he's going to be going to the Panthers. We know Collins and Robinson are going to the Texans. But here's in around the league. Let's see if there's anyone that I really recognize here. We did see Tremaine Edmonds go. I forgot where he went. We see Roundtree goes to the Panthers. Good for him. Weston here going to the Vikings. And anyone else that jumps at me, at least players that I know. As of right now, I am not seeing too many else. I don't know if a guy like Hunt got signed. I didn't even check. No, he is still out there. So we could bring back Mark Hunt here if we so choose to. Well, current state of the team, you know, we moved off of Mitch Ford, end up keeping Laws, and, you know, we've added some depth on the offensive line. Overall, though, and then defensively is where we made our 2 big splashes. Bringing in Smith, bringing in Matt, truly helping out this defense, both from a coverage perspective and a pass rushing perspective. At the end of the day, guys, I think we're going into this class trying to take as many good players as we possibly can. And, you know, that's about it. I don't know if I'm going to be making the 3rd overall selection. I know I'm not going to be trading up to 1 or 2. So we are going to just advance to our pick. We see Bruce Day and Alex Harris both go. 2 players that I really was not targeting. But we see one of my focus players has top 5 potential. And same thing here with CJ Stratt here, who's a corner. So we have an opportunity right here, right now to draft our new number, 2 wide receiver, which receiver in theory would be our biggest need as of right now. So Kevin Taylor, is he worth, or is it worth it taking another top 10 pick at a wide receiver? Potentially. I say we go for it. Kevin Taylor, welcome to the Arizona Cardinals. He was ranked 3rd in the class, and we got him here at 3. Hidden development with 90 speed. So 6'4". These type of receivers have not worked out for me. And I'm trying again here in year 18. So hopefully he'll be able to do so. Now, does it make sense to try to trade up and go get that corner? You know, when you think about it, you know, we just traded for a new number 2 corner in Matt here. We just picked up the 5th-year option here for Michael Dorsett. 24 years old, 86 overall. And throughout his career, he has been able to pick up some turnovers. Not too bad. But do we want to get a younger corner to come in here and play for us? He is projected to go in the top 5. I don't know if that means a I don't know if that means to go if that he's going to be like a 90 or an 80 overall, but does it make sense to try to make that type of move? I don't know. We could let the board kind of fall. He is right now the corner 4 on the board. So maybe we don't have to be too aggressive here. Let's see. Let's let the board kind of do its thing. I'm gonna sim the next 4 selections. So I just simmed 2 picks. Brian Donley has just gone, so that's the first corner. The second corner goes here, and Kevin Lamb here. I know I said I was gonna sim a bit, and someone Elliott just went a wide receiver. So it's been receivers and corners since we selected. Let's continue. Another receiver goes here. This time Elijah Mayer. Pass rusher goes. I think we could look to trade with the Patriots. They have 2 top picks. They just drafted a corner. And I want to say with that selection, he is the second corner right now on the board. And in terms of big board, we have him very much down the board. I don't think he goes for a little bit. I think teams will start focusing on other positions. Well, now all the corners have gone. I'm not gonna risk it. No, we're gonna sim ahead. Matthew Rushing goes first quarterback going to the Pittsburgh Steelers, then a tackle, and the Patriots go tackle. So he fell to us. I decided to risk it. I could have pivoted if I needed to, but we right now have a top 5 projected player or top 5 talent on the board. Good speed. He looks to be very good in coverage, A-man, B-zone, B-press. Could give ourselves a corner for the future. Or we could go in another direction. I don't know. Do we want to go running back here? Probably not. We'd already drafted a receiver. We've gone into the... I think over the last few years, we've done well drafting offensive linemen. Do we want to go pass rusher? I think we've kind of improved that as well. I think that this is a spot where... Oh, wow, wait. I guess for whatever reason, Corey here, he's a top 5 projected player. I was wondering why I didn't see 100% for him. But I'm not going to take him here at 16. Maybe... Hey, guys, we have an opportunity here to draft 3 top 5 talents. We're going to draft CJ here. I think that this makes maybe the most sense. And at ranked 1 in the class. So, hidden development corner. That was my only pause of concern. But here at 16, we get the 3rd best player and the 1st best player. And I think that linebacker will fall all the way to us here at 35. And I am not going to let him go any further if he is available. And he is. Corey will be the selection. We're going to get 3 top 5 talents here in this draft class. Ranked 4th in the class. Excellent speed. 94 speed. I saw elite speed for him. Also hidden development. And, you know, these are 3 guys that can play just about day 1 for us. We need a new tight end. Well, we're going to soon enough need a new tight end. I don't know how long Bobby Summers will stay at his overall. So Justin Smith here in the 3rd round will be the selection. Ranked 39th in the class. Normal dev, though. The tight end that I liked actually went to the Atlanta Falcons and Darren Fulton here. Justin was my 2nd favorite, but I would have loved to draft the other tight end that went to Atlanta. Jeff Bryant here, a pass rusher, will go here in the 4th. Just trying to get as many top-end players, and we got him right as where he's supposed to be. Normal dev. Just wanted to add some good solid depth to our defensive line. And Chris Graham here is my last favorite player on my board. We will select him. He's much more of a pass rusher, and it's a bit of a reach here. So I don't have any more players on my board. I have 2 more selections. So I'm probably just going to be looking to take some shots, just try to add some depth to the team. We're going to go with a safety here in Brian Smith. Just trying to get as much okay talent as we can. It's another reach here. These last 3 picks might not be the best for me. We're going to select a blocking tight end here in the 7th. Burrow Covington here. And who knows? 79 strength is not good to being a 3rd tight end, but Virgil might make the roster just because. But what do you think of the class? We had a hot start and then we kind of fell off a bit. But hey, it's not a terrible class. These 3 players are not great, not terrible either. But Kevin Taylor here, I debated about moving off of the 3rd overall pick, but seeing top 5 talents and I could draft a lot of them, and I did, we got him. So Kevin Taylor here looks like a very good receiver to start off. 77 overall. Day 1, that's very good. And then we got an 80 overall here in CJ Stroud here. A man-to-man cover corner. Already ranked 62nd in the class, or in the league. Regardless, he's probably going to be our 4th corner or a 4th corner for a season, and that's about it. Then scrolling to finding Corey here with his 94 speed plus 2 speed for him because of our coaches. Day 1, he looks to be a monster sideline to sideline guy. He's a player that I would love to user. Then we go with a 74 overall here in Justin Smith. Like this selection, he can be our number 2 tight end for maybe the remaining of this rebuild, and it really matters how much Bobby Summers can avoid regression. And then Jeff Bryant here, a pass rusher, 6'9". Yeah, he will be a solid number 2 edge rusher, number 3 edge rusher for us. And then we drafted Chris Graham here, Brian Smith, and Burrow Covington here. There were other players that I really liked in this class, and actually 2 of them went to the Falcons. So just have to find them here. So 76 overall, Doris Fulton here. He was the tight end that I really liked. Though we got a guy with a bit more speed, I think actually also better hands. But the hidden development might be the difference. The other player that I liked was Meredith here, a defensive tackle, also hidden development, went a few picks before us. And he has 99 strength, strong body here at defensive tackle. You can always find these later round defensive tackles in and around the league. But drafting 3 top 5 players, who did we miss out on? So Kenny here, who went actually 30th. He was the 2nd in the class. We got the 3rd, and then a receiver, and we drafted it was 2 other corners that were top 5. There was a lot of corners here, but we got the best receiver. Happy to see that. Let's get into year 16, and let's get back to the postseason. You know, I'm just simming along here, just trying to get us to cut day, and Morgan here just fractured his kneecap here, and he's out for the year. So our young tackle now, who is going to be expected to be a starter, he's out for this season. So that probably will force my hand to signing another lineman, and our offensive line might be a bit weaker than I expected. As year 18 is about to kick off for us, you know, we went out there, we made 2 big significant moves for our defense. And then we went out there with 2 first-round picks. We drafted a receiver, we drafted a corner. We also traded for a big-time corner, traded for a big-time defensive tackle, brought in a big-time linebacker. You know, we've made a lot of, I think, moves that should propel us. Tackle is now a concern of mine. Kevin Slater, who is expected to be a backup, he's now a starter. And a lot more pressure falls on Cameron Hayden in the passing game as we have a lot of younger receivers trying to prove themselves. But also a lot falls here on Darren Laws here. He needs to go out there and have a big-time season, or running back is going to be something for year 19, where we might have to make a move like we did with Harris and trade for someone. But let's kick off year 18 here. A year ago, we went 8-9, and now we're trying to make it back to the postseason. Week 1, we lose 22-19. Not what you want to start off the season. And we bounce back with a victory over Green Bay. I think we have some injuries with that storyline. We don't. I don't know what that storyline is. I don't usually click on those. Let me know down below if you think I should. But we're 1-1 now. We got the Detroit Lions trying to go to 2-1, and we do so, beating them 38-10. We have a running back breakout opportunity here. I would love it for it to be Laws here, because then it would be proving to me that he's producing. And I actually can't tell. I think this is Laws. No, this is for Brandon Meredith here, who's our number 2 running back. He gets a lot of touchdowns. But can we keep it up here? Can we get to 3-1 here? And we can. So did Meredith go up to superstar? I think that would be his next development trade here. And he did not get it. No XP gained as well. Hopefully Laws is playing well for us. After this, we'll do a stat update here, but we have the 4-0 Niners. Can we beat them and get back to probably first, or get into first place of this division with this victory? We do. We beat them 28-21. Our team across the board is balling right now. Wow. We are in the top. And we see Cole Green here for the Houston Texans playing a lot of good football. And 3rd in passing yards, 7 touchdown passes to 2 interceptions throughout the first 5 weeks. We're seeing our ground game kind of playing well. I think Laws is playing solidly. Brandon Meredith, a bit more efficient with 3 scores. Cameron Hayden doing his thing. Kevin Taylor supporting him. Bobby Summers continues to help out. JJ Jackson is playing solid, I would say. This offensive line, you know what? They're playing some solid football here. I think they changed up my line, which is fine with me. Coolest Mims leading us in tackles. Josh Wilkins with 3 sacks. Brian Daly with 3. Darren Smith with 3. 2 for Colbert. So our defensive line is getting home. And we are seeing turnovers from Dorsett and Kidd. Love to see that. Across the board, we're playing fantastic. Let's see what we have to negotiate with. Wow. So Will Britley wants a 2-year, $170 million. This would kill our cap. But we want Will Britley for the rest of this rebuild. Granted, I would probably prefer to give him a contract like this, if anything, just to give us some room. But my goodness, we have Dion Johnson here, starting guard. Fitzpatrick, our number 1 corner. Meredith here needs a new deal. Laws needs a new deal. There's a lot. And if we want to stay relevant, we need a guy like Will Britley. Right now, though, guys, I think we're going to sim ahead. I don't think I'm going to be making any sort of contracts. So we have a second. We lose here to the Raiders, which is disappointing. But part 2 here for the breakout opportunity, as we have the Niners coming up here. Meredith, again, trying to go up to superstar. We'll see. We're right around week 8 right now, And Darren Laws has just suffered a fractured hip, and he's out for the rest of this season. Gonna place him on IR. That means Meredith is gonna have to become the new back. It probably means that he has more chances to become a superstar. We see that we pick up 3 interceptions. Matt Sleeve again. Wow. We are playing excellent football as we again just crush the Niners. Currently though, Seattle is putting together a fantastic campaign. We got to be able to keep up with them. But now at running back, Meredith basically becomes our primary back. And, you know, we have Mitch, we have Chamberlain. We see that Kevin Taylor here has superstar development. That's nice to see. And we see X Factor here for Corey. Wow. And he's playing a lot of football right now. With that speed, you have to play him. As we sim ahead here, we're at week 9 now. We just lost the Panthers. So far, we're playing very good football. Will Britley has thrown 11 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. It's the backfield now for Brandon Meredith, as he already has 6 scores. So far, not too bad here. We're at the trade deadline. And again, we have an opportunity to make the postseason, to make a run here. I don't think I'm going to make any sort of trades. I'm going to sim ahead to right around week 14, 15. As we've made it just past the bye week, we're here at week 15, and we're 9-4. Currently one of the best passing offenses, defense not allowing a lot of points, not a lot of rushing yards either. Currently the number 2 seed, as Tampa Bay has already clinched a playoff spot. They're probably going to be the number 1 seed. And Cameron Hayden already hit 1,000 yards. So far, we're looking good. We've gotten to this point due to putting up some very quality victories since week 9. You know, we've won now the last 3 straight, so hopefully we can keep this up throughout the next 4 weeks. We have the Denver Broncos here as we are trying to get to 10 wins. We lose, as well as suffering an injury. And this is for Darren Smith here, the big-time defensive tackle I traded for. He's out for the remaining of the regular season. So keep that in the back of your mind here, as we have the 3-11 Kansas City Chiefs. We beat them pretty 21-14. We have the Patriots up next, who are 5-10 here, and we beat them as well. So we are currently looking at, we've clinched a playoff berth, but are we going to be a wild card team, or have we got back to winning our division? Can we beat the Seattle Seahawks to be able to do so? We know we're back at the postseason, ladies and gentlemen. And we lost to them. So we go 11-6 this campaign, bumping us down to the 5th seed. So to the road to the Super Bowl, we have to go through the Cowboys here, and then most likely either again facing Seattle or the Lions, most likely. The only way is if like the Panthers get an upset or the Falcons get an upset, or if they lose. Actually, our path is to Tampa, most likely. Regardless, we have Dallas here. We got to this point. Will Britley put on another good campaign for us. 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, sacked 38 times, 4,000 plus passing yards. Running game was non-existent. We really struggled with this. But 11 scores here for Brandon Meredith. Maybe that makes it up a little bit, but we just can't run the football. We had two 1,000-yard receivers. Cameron Hayden here, 1,400 yards and 15 scores, continues to dominate. And then Kevin Taylor goes out here with almost 1,100 yards, scoring one time. And that is just kind of an insane stat line. J.J. Jackson here is our third receiver, 600 receiving yards and 5 scores. Bobby Summers has 7 scores. We had 4 guys scoring touchdowns. No one else. Wow. That is so interesting. The offensive line, Matthews allowed 13 sacks, but the rest of the line that we've brought in, all less than 10 sacks. That's very good. Coolest Mims lead us in tackles here. We had Josh, who lead with Smith, tied for the most TFLs, and Darren Smith 12 sacks, Colbert back to 10, Bryant with 9.5, Josh Wilkins with 5.5, throw in Corey's 3. This is what you needed to see from our defense. Exactly. Michael Dorsett here picking up 5 interceptions. Coolest Mims with 3. Matt Sleeve had that one game with 3 INTs. Fitzpatrick with 2. So our secondary was able to get some turnovers. MVP goes to Shaw Jackson here. Coach of the Year, we're number 3. I do think we have some chances here. Cameron Hayden, second in terms of Offensive Player of the Year. No one for the defense, but Kevin Taylor, the Rookie of the Year, 3rd overall. And Corey here was 3rd on the defensive side. Quarterback, Will Brittley's number 3. We did have a top 10 running back, I guess. Brandon's 11 scores. Best receiver. Nothing for the offensive line. Defensively now, we see, not too many. Surprise, Michael Dorsett with 5 interceptions. He did not get it. We have a chance here, ladies and gentlemen. We are a pass-first team, leading on our defense. We should be theoretically healthy again. Smith should be back now. So our front 4 is at their best at this moment in time. Let's go out there and let's make a run here in year 18. Dallas, who went 9-8. Can we beat them? We do. We beat them 17-10, a low-scoring affair, and we now have Tampa, the number 1 seed. And Will Brittley, this was not his day. It was a defensive battle. Brandon Meredith had one of his better days. Bobby Summers caught the lone touchdown, I assume. And this was, defensive game. A lot of sacks. Deion Fitzpatrick and Nicholas each picking up a turnover. That's nice to see. The 11 and the 14 and 13, the 14, 13 and 14 and 3. Jesus Christ. Tampa is next here. Can we get back to the NFC Championship game? And we can't. We lose to Tampa Bay 23-17. As Will Brittley did not do much. Shaw Jackson, the MVP, produced. Struggled to run the football. Passing wise, they just aired it out over our defense that has been playing excellent. Darren Smith picks up 3 sacks. It's this offense. And it was the offense a year ago when we had, in my opinion, way more talent. Don't forget, we had Mitch Ford. We had a very good offensive line. And now what? Will Brittley makes it in as a Pro Bowler. Same thing here with Cam Hayden here. Offensive line-wise, Daniel Huff, Cameron Wall, both made it in across this offensive line. Surprised that we don't see Smith. Coolest Mims didn't get in. Don't see our corner. That's kind of annoying here, but we had a better offense a season ago, and we only put up 3 points. Is it Will Britley? Is it in fact Will Britley who is the problem of this team? And should have I moved off of him sooner? I mean, we have yet to make it back to the NFC Championship game in a very long time. This year's Super Bowl champs are the Houston Texans, led by Cole Green. And that might have even more improved this narrative. Is it Will Britley? Cole Green was our backup for 4 years. Traded him away to Denver in the last 2 seasons he's played in Houston. And he's played well in Houston. I can't tell you. Currently a 90, playing like a 95 overall, 80s, 89. Currently, Cole Green, though, has produced. So 3 years with us, and he was should have I turned to him when we had the opportunity to. Don't forget, 2 years ago, we could have traded away Will Britley, but I decided, that was never a thought in my mind, as Cole Green is barely making any money. And now we have to decide on how much money we're willing to spend to, how much we want to spend here to Will Britley. His contract did go down a little bit, but still. But we also have a starting guard. We have a starting safeties 5th-year option. Our number 1 corner. Our running back that virtually is the only back that can put up some type of points. You know, Darren Laws, we're in a position where we're going to be losing some talent here if we decide to, again, re-sign Will Britley. This would leave us with $30 million, and if I extend him by 5 years, that would still only give us $36 million. To put this in perspective, to potentially have to re-sign a guard, re-sign a corner, re-sign a running back, and re-sign a tight end. It's going to be a tough off season for year 19. Year 19 will be next time, guys. Tough pill to swallow here. I hope you guys have been enjoying the franchise. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.